So 6 weeks after the work Rick and I did on this rather large PJ, large and old, just back budding quite nicely, getting some new growth. Sorry about the delay on posting all this. So this is, now that Rick's helped me with one of mine, I'm going to help Rick with one of his. I'm more just the hands, he's the knowledge. And it's on a big piece of sandstone. It's another Port Jackson, or FICUS rubiginosa, or however you pronounce that. How old do you think this one is, Rick? Roughly.
It's a collected tree, so it's got a huge age, I would say, judging by its dimensions.
Yep.
And the appearance of it.
Can you remember roughly when you collected this one?
I'm pretty sure I collected it more than 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably quite a lot more. Because the one we were looking at over there,
Yep.
Canopy, I was on the committee of Illawarra Bonsai Society
Yes.
at that stage, which meant that I'd been a member of Illawarra Bonsai for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking some of the other members home to the North Shore, and I took a shortcut that I knew round the back of St Mary's Cathedral.
Yes.
And this is why it's called the ecumenical fig, because this was growing on the wall, the back wall of St Mary's Cathedral.
Yes, I have heard the remnants of this story. So with that particular tree now, without giving away any maybe illegal activity, somebody had to go up there and collect that.
I was driving, and this is a route where a lot of people take a shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
So taxis go around, and anyway, one of the members of the committee was a dentist, sort of a society dentist,
mm-hmm.
and he said, well, why don't you get up? And I said, well, I can't reach it. So he hoisted my up close enough to get at it.
Yep.
And I had some tools in the car. And as the taxis came round, they were illuminating this tableau of me and the dentist getting the tree off, and my father was a Church of England minister.
Mm-hmm.
The dentist was some other brand of Christianity, and the Pope, of course, owned St Mary's. Hence, we had at least 3 different brands of Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
sort of.
Yep. Very good story.
So they said, well, a good name for it would be ecumenical fig.
And
I was the year when the Pope in Rome was talking about ecumenical Christianity, you know,
mm-hmm.
all the different brands getting together more. Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, it's like your other tree. It's very hard choosing fronts.
It is, but I've turned this around, and this is the side that you said you think is the best front. So I've got that to face the camera for a second, just so people can see that. And now I'm going to sort of spin it around. This is the big sandstone block that I'm turning it on, that we can see.
Yeah, well, and part of the why is that branch there that I've worked on.
Yes.
or bring it into view.
So that branch there, you've had to put a screw through that one at some stage.
Yeah.
Now, is that because you cut a wedge out of it or something to try and re-angle it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right.
That was, yeah. So it was too thick to easily bend without breaking, so you cut and re-did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, the fig will eat that screw, won't it?
Or
Grow over it.
grow over.
Yeah, eat, grow over, same thing.
Otherwise, I can't really understand why I would have done that
Yep,
if I were using this side as the front.
yep. And with it, as I said earlier, I'm going to take a quick video walking through your garden at the moment, even though it's not set up fully yet, or anywhere near really.
No.
But just so that people can get a scope of how many trees you've got and why sometimes it's a bit hard for you to remember what you've done on what trees, because when you have as many trees as you do here, trying to keep track of everything you've done is a bit.
It's not just old age.
No, it's not just old age. It's the couple of 100 to 1,000 different trees you've got here.
Well then, and we've added Matt's and Colin's contribution to it,
Yes. Yeah.
which is not insubstantial.
No. So what would you like me to start with on this, Rick? Do you want me to just... Do we need to do some branch selection, or do you want me to trim back, or a bit of both? Some of these are just completely dead, Rick. I'm just breaking those off just to help clear out our view. I'm not just randomly snapping things. I might have a little bit of life back at the base there, but this outer section is definitely dead. Yeah, no, that's dead all the way. I'll get rid of that completely. I was just erring on the side of caution there a little bit, because it looked like it might have had a little bit of life on it.
I'm coming back to thinking that this is the best side of the tree after all to be the front.
Okay, so with that branch coming out towards you.
Yeah.
So this, and but more on an angle though, I'd be presuming, something like facing towards where the camera is here, so from this angle.
Yeah.
Probably from about that view, so that branch isn't coming directly into your eye.
Yes. I reckon.
So about where I put that tag as your front.
Yes, that would be really good, because nothing's really poking you in the eye.
No.
And
And gives you the depth from this branch back here.
and the apex of the tree
Lines up.
is leaning slightly into the view.
Yep. All those classic indicators of what you look for in a front.
Yeah. Whereas the all sandstone view is altogether too obvious.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And so, what would you like me to start with on this, Rick? I can do a little bit of wiring if you want. As I said, I'm not that great at it, but I'll give it a crack. It's effective, if not pretty. Or do you want me to trim back first? Or do you want me to remove? Is there something you want me to remove?
Well, I think it's a case of needing fairly substantial trimming.
Yep.
Because I reckon it's going to stay in this pot, but just get a repot.
Just get a repot?
Yeah.
Okay. Now which is going to be the best, do you think, for the substantial cutback? These ones? And a few of these, maybe a bit of this one, because some of these are going to be a bit thicker.
Well, there are some where the scoopings will cut might be needed.
If we're going to have that as the front, do you think having this coming down to here to help fill that level gap? I'll spin this around so you can see what I'm talking about. That'll help add a bit of depth there.
Where is it?
So this is it's coming out as 2 here. So,
yeah.
But I think maybe getting rid of this one here, but leaving or cutting it to here. But leave this one here, so it's coming down to fill that sort of negative space there, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. So cutting this one back to roughly there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this here is coming way too much over the top of these ones.
Yeah.
And it's one thickness the whole way there. Do you want me to cut that? You thinking about there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. What else can we... I'm just going for the ones that are most obvious to me straight up, Rick, first, and looking from this other angle. Now here you've got... This one's coming straight out. First movement really starts here, and then it branches out into 2. But you're going to want that, I think, to fill that that little gap there eventually. But you don't want it to crowd too far over here. So just a trim back on these ones.
Just a trim back there.
About there on that one, do you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
I think I'll start on the lower stuff and then we'll work up into the canopy.
Yeah.
So now with this front branch that's coming out to here, I'm going to put this on an angle so the camera can see, so I can see and you can see, somewhat.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of, there's a dead one there, I think.
Yeah, that's got some, it's got some life in it, it's got some sap in it. I don't know, it's got a little bit of sap when I nick it.
Yeah.
Sometimes cutting encourages them to back to it, so I'll just do that there. And this side here, that top part's definitely dead.
Yeah.
That's all pretty thick there, so about there.
Yeah. And then
No, there's no sap in that. There's no life in that section. I'm going to cut further back.
We might need one of those scooping cutters.
Yes.
For that stub in there.
This one, or the down the bottom.
The one further in.
Just there.
No.
How about I roll? No, it doesn't roll, does it? I'll roll you forward. Get you to go forward so you can point directly where you want, and then I can.
I need a pointing stick, don't I?
Well, yeah, use the tweezers. You can point with the tweezers.
Yeah, that's a stub.
Yeah, you want that stub there? Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a straight cut, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a straight to get the so I can get to see what's going on. If you want me to concave it, I can get the concave now. I can
Is
see
there
better.
any sap coming out of it at all?
At the bottom there is, the top there's not.
No, well, that should be all right.
Okay.
I've got a really big one of those concave cutters. Put in
That section up there. This is actually my first, well, apart from using them just a second ago on my tree, this is the first time I've used these sort of cutters.
Yeah.
So if I cut in a bit too deep, just snap it. Oh, no, he'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy it. Now, about there to start with, just to nibble the edges away.
Yeah.
See if there's any sap that comes through. Yeah, there's sap that's going to come through that section there. Now, just get rid of these other.
Because they were all together too crude, those ones.
And do you want to get this back little piece here as well?
Yeah.
Eat that.
Yeah.
Now just want to nibble around the edges to try and round it off a little bit
I think that's enough
for
for
the moment.
this one here could do with a little bit of
Nibble on the edges.
Yeah,
Let me get down.
because giving it this chance of back shooting, you never know what's going to.
Pop up where?
Yeah.
I'm all set up. I need a spotter. Hold the ladder.
Do you want me to trim those edges off a little bit?
Yeah.
Just the bottom edge?
Yeah. So then we can go onto this next one.
Yep. So this here, this section.
Yeah, that one can just come down to where your finger is.
Yep, so just get a bit of wire.
Yeah.
Which is the thicker ones of those ones, put it up on there. I think I'll need a longer piece there. I'll just put a second piece of wire. That's got the start of it, but just to give that a bit more shape. As I said, I'm not the best at the wiring side of things.
That's the practice.
It is, and 90% of what I've done's all been, even though I've been playing for 11 years, and that's all it's been is playing. It's 90% been clip and grow. I haven't really used that much wiring.
Yeah. Well, you had a bit of assistance with the internet or whatever that.
Yeah, so I've watched a few YouTube videos and things on basic wiring to help get my ideals down, whether it was Bonsai-En or Mirai or a few others.
Yeah, well, a couple of the clubs that I was involved with did the next best thing by bringing out a couple of Japanese masters
Yeah.
and even a Scottish master,
Mhm.
and that was great fun.
Seeing it about there.
Yeah.
As I said, my wiring's ugly, but it does the job.
Well, if you insist, you can carry on with that tail end of it
Yep.
and end up with it on the thicker branch.
Yeah, I was going to, but I wanted to make sure that it was in the in the right spot before I to tied it off as such. So there we go. All right. Well, that looks fairly dead there, so I'm just going to remove that as we're going through.
Yeah, that's a daddy.
There was a... Thank you. Those pointers are coming in handy.
Oh yeah.
And that's fairly dead there too. Alright, so let's... over here, do you just want these trimmed back? Do you want these trimmed back to keep the branching there, or do you want to bring it back further?
No, that'll, I think, a bit more than that, just down in
Yep. Do you want me to go down and get rid of that knob? Just do it to where that knob is. It keeps the taper there and thickens out just
here.
in there.
And then these other ones There's a dirty bit there.
Yep.
Cut these down to half.
Out yay.
Yeah.
And yay.
There's a straight up one there.
Yep. It's going to end up with a knob there actually, so probably get rid of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably do the same with this one.
Yep. Back to about there, or is that too far back for you?
Well, I'll take the knob out.
Take the knob out?
Yep.
Yep. And take the knob off here.
Yeah.
You're going to want that to sort of come out this way. To get,
Yeah.
It's probably a bit, just so you can get that back butting.
Yeah.
Just leave it be for now, and then next time we'll cut it back a bit more. And that's growing under, but it's also coming out in a spot that you could wire that and put it somewhere else, or do we just get rid of that one? Because that's going to have three very close coming out together there.
Yeah.
So get rid of it.
Yes, get rid of it.
Yep.
And then trim these pretty hard.
This one I'll go down to there. We want to leave some room for it to shoot from. And this one cut back to where it was cut before.
Yep.
Perfect. So keep spinning it around.
Yep. Go on to the next bit.
Get rid of that knob.
This looks a bit dodgy, this one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a big, and it's quite thick there too.
Mm.
It's on the knob here. You don't really want that one there, it's going to cross over and cover that anyway. So get rid of that one there. Just cut that back to there. Well, that looks like it's dead on the end there, but it looks like it's got some life back here. So
Yeah, that's good. And the one underneath we can
cut back to with that point there.
maybe even further. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to look at the spread. And where's those knobs? It's actually loose down. Okay. So this is a better angle. People can, the video can see it and we can see it. So they can see what we're doing. What was I up to?
Well,
Oh, this side, there we go.
Yeah.
So these little knobs here, you want me to just cut those off?
Yep.
Do you want me to cut that whole thing back? Or to where this other branch is? It's fairly straight, fairly thick.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I put the wrong ones, but these will do for now. Trim that up. And then we can get a piece of wire and bring that one down to take over the same position. Have some more wire here.
There should be some.
There's plenty of wire around, but we'll just keep going with what we're doing, and then we'll wire at the end.
So,
And with that, do you want that left at that length?
well, have we decided what to do with this one?
No, not yet.
I think at least cut these back
This-
solidly.
Yep.
And then the extension of that probably back. Yeah.
Back to about there.
Yeah.
Back to this section now. So we'll go up into the next canopy level.
Yep.
And now we want to bring these back so they're shorter than this section, so we're not shading out, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to cut to about here.
Yeah. And then that one straight up in the air we don't want.
Get rid of that completely.
Yeah. And the next one can come back pretty solidly.
Do you want to keep the two branches though? Keep it as two, or bring it back to one? So I can bring it back to one. I can bring it back to one here, or I can,
one.
Yep. And then we'll keep going on this little section while we're there. So this one back to one as well, just below those ones, or keep that sort of offshoot there. I mean that's straight up, so we don't want that. But keep that branching out, or do you want me to cut back on that one?
Well, I think we can cut back on this one more, the middle one.
This one here?
Yeah.
I would be inclined, because we've got the 3-ish there, to probably even get rid of that completely.
Yeah, yeah.
And that can get wired, but I think we'll still only want 2.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at placement, and this one that's going straight up here, get rid of that.
Yeah.
And this other little branch, do you want to leave that for now and see if it can be turned into something, or like an extra or do you want to get rid of it?
Just cut the end nearly to the...
About there-ish?
I'll leave a bit more.
About there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then these ones up here, I said we're going to probably place them down there, but you still want to cut them back a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think to here? Keep the two, or do you want to keep, because it's already...
Are they from the one spot? I don't keep the 2.
Keep the 2, yep.
Yeah.
So there and there. Or why that? And that's dead. Then fell apart of the try to lift in the air. And here, these ones, you just basically want a 2/3 trim back on these.
Yeah.
So about here. I don't know if that's even alive there at the end. No, 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 no. Maybe a little bit of sap there. Just a little. And this one, do you want to keep the 2 there, or just cut it back to 2 from here and here?
Cut it back to...
So there and there, so we can spread that out that way.
Yeah.
About here.
Yeah.
And about the same on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move over onto this side here. So with these, Rick, probably these ones here, probably about half.
Yeah.
Same thing, or a bit more on that one.
That's true.
Yep.
And then there's a middle one there that's not really well placed. That one.
This one.
Yeah.
Do you want to get rid of the whole branch?
Yeah.
And then we'll get the little knob cutters in a minute. Now this one here, do you want that cut back at all, or do you want to just leave that for now?
Just the ends, I think.
Just the ends?
Yeah.
Now that's going straight up. Do you want me to get rid of that whole knob there? You've cut it off at that same spot there before by the look of it.
Yeah.
And about here on this one.
Yep. And
Just the tips on these.
um,
Tips on that one maybe, and then probably this one cut it down
yeah,
to about here.
yeah,
Some tips there.
that'd be fine.
And then this, well, that'll keep the sap flowing. Do you want to leave the tips on that, or do you want to cut those off?
Cut them off.
Yep. Now this poor branch looks like it's had a bit of a hard time.
Oh, well, we can put a screw in it.
It's solid. It's just hello spider. Yeah, there's still a bit of sap in that, so that's good. Do you want me to just trim this one to here? Or do you want to get rid of that extra tall, thicker piece?
Yeah.
Okay. And these ones, same as the other sections, about cutting back by about a half?
Yeah, yeah.
Oops. Bye-bye.
And John, it's
Let's get rid of that.
I mean, it's more annoying, but it's to be honest, it's dangerous.
Same thing here.
Yes.
Just cut back to basically where it was cut back before.
Yep.
I can see that's dead. And this one at the back, we said we'll leave that. Here, I think leaving this branch here is good.
Yeah.
But just trimming it, just the edges
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
That's dead to at least there. Little tiny bit of sap.
And the upward growing one on the end of that branch. Oh, that can go.
Yep. Well, it comes out a little bit first, so maybe if I cut it
Yeah.
just at an angle there, it might.
There's a thicker one going straight up right near the end.
Here.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll get to that one in a second.
That
Just
can go.
trim that there. So you want this whole one here, or do you want it just from here? Because it comes up and then this branch comes out.
Yeah, no, near the main.
Near the main?
branch.
Well, that's going to end up as a nice little starter tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the beauty of these figs, especially this time of the year, isn't it, Rick? We can cut these back and end up with a whole bunch of starters.
They'll grow, yeah.
And this one here is fairly vertical from about there. Do you want me to cut it off just there when it starts to go up?
Yep.
And these just tip all these.
Yeah, you can more than tip that one.
More than tip this one.
Because going down a lot.
It starts to get vertical there, so I'll get rid of that there.
Mm-hmm.
Same with over here. Now this one underneath, it's crossing over underneath there. Do you want me to get rid of it from, let me give you a better angle. Get rid of it from here, all the way back here, or do you want me to...
no, right back there.
There we go. Alright, so now we're on to this one.
Yeah.
And this has it's quite thick by comparison to the other branching that's coming off, all the way up to here.
Yeah.
And that's starting to go vertical. You happy for me to get rid of it just all the way back there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then about half cut these for lengths.
Yeah.
Well, that's going straight up, but we might try and do something with that a bit later. This one here, do you want me to keep those 3 branches, or do you want me to cut it right back?
Take out the middle one. And
And then just tip it?
trim the ends.
Oh, actually, it's probably that one.
Dead, is it?
I didn't realise how dead it was. There's a bit of sap there. Bit of sap.
That can be a hard cut back, I think.
You think back to or even to here to cut it off so you don't have that knob.
No, I think about where you're holding it.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's a little area all ready to go. Look at that.
And that one straight up can go
This off the knob or this one here?
there.
Yep. And this knob here, do you want to cut right into that knob and just try and get rid of that whole little knob with the little branch?
Yeah.
I might use the concave
Yeah.
straight for that.
I've interfered with you on
Oh, that's okay. If you bump it, you bump it. It's not a big issue, Rick. We'll just move it around a bit more.
I'm trying to keep out of the hottest sun.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm sweating a little bit here, so I can understand why you would be. Oops. That could be an interesting little base. Eventually. Now these are all dead over here. Dead. Dead to there, at least. I think that's that spider's web that was crawling on me before.
Ah,
And with these ones, you want these outer ones tipped, but these ones about halfway.
yeah.
Bit yay. I think that's... Oh no, that looks like it's got some... No. Yes. And this one about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this long branch on this side,
The back.
well, that's that. Well, that we're saying that's the front now. Do you want that cut to about here?
Yeah.
Just the lower half fairly hard cut back.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go up into this next section. Now these, most of these ones on the outer edges here, do you want me just to trim those off?
Yeah.
Might bring that one just a little bit shorter. Now trimming on a tree this size is like major cuts on a smaller tree.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trim that there, but I'm just going to also clean up these. Some of that on the way through. Try and keep both those little branches. It may get a bit of dieback and we may lose those extra little bits, but we may not. I say we, it's your tree, but I'm here to help. Now this one here, I think this is probably getting a little bit long without any back budding, so do you want me to bring it back to about here?
Yeah.
And it is going to get overshaded a little bit if we keep this branch here. Now, do you want, this one's going right underneath that, so do you want me to bring that all the way back to here? Just so you got the, because if this fills out, that's going to be shaded right
Where
out.
does
And
that one come from?
it comes from back here, just below. You've got two there, and it's just a little bit below that one. Or do you want me to just cut it to here for now, and we'll try and build more of a pad? So we can bring that down.
I think the next one up, probably the bigger shading branch.
Yeah, get rid of the shading branch.
Yeah.
Yep. And so this one then back to that.
Yeah.
We'll try and bring that around a bit later. And these back here just half.
Yeah, more or less.
Go there.
Just the tips.
Okay, just a tip on this one. And here, about half.
Yeah. And the same with the next two.
Yeah. Oh. And this one, so even though it's got the 3 there, do you want me to just take those little tiny tips off, or do you want me to bring it back down to here?
Back. There's those other shoots, and when they come, they can catch up very quick.
Yes, yes. Okay. This little straggler doing its own thing. Keep it, get rid of it.
I'll get rid of it. This will give another chance.
Yeah, there'll be plenty. it'll sprout back with plenty more there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Some new buds coming out just underneath that one, but these little knobs can. Sorry. They're just the knobs. I'm just getting rid of the knobs. Alright, so now we're coming up into the upper canopy.
Yeah.
Now these sort of ones, you're wanting those to be just about there? So we've still got that little bit of bifurcation there?
Yeah.
Oops. Now this one here, it's quite a bit thicker. It's not crossing anything though. About where my finger is.
Yeah.
Do you want me to turn that angle a bit? Can you see that well enough?
Yeah, no, those bits will shoot like that.
Yep. And about the same distance on this one.
Yeah.
And these 4 here, same thing.
Yeah.
This little branch that's just coming out from the underneath, I don't think that's really going to add to anything. Do you want me to just remove that to the base?
Yeah.
Alright. I've done that side, let's come around. Now that's underneath, that's I'm thinking you get rid of that one completely. Just reduce the tips on this one because you're going to want that to fill out a bit. Just get it so I don't have that knob build back up. I can feel the stickiness from all the sap all over me. Tipping these.
It's like latex, isn't it?
It is. It is. Very sticky. Now, I'm just going to basically, the rest of it, Rick, I'm just going to basically tip it all.
Yeah.
And then if there's any that stick out to you as I'm doing so that you want me to cut back harder, just let me know. And I'm going to clear up some of these little dead knobs and things on the way through as well. Probably bring it down a little bit lower. Not heaps much, but just a... Now this one that's going straight up, it's getting quite thick there compared to the base. Probably about half on that one.
Where's my front again?
Your front is where is our white tag. So white tag's there, that's your front. So it's this one here. So we've trimmed the roots. Got all the soil off and we're about to repot it. I've done all the base work, we've got the mound underneath, now we're going to lower it in and then I'll show you at the end.